How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you guys how to do a parked regen on a Volvo tractor. And this is the first part. I'm going to show you how to actually engage the park regen. And the second part of the video, which will roll in right after this, would be the actual regen and how it looks and what to look for. So whenever you have to do a parked regen, you're going to see, and now this tractor that I'm about to show you doesn't have it, but you'd see a little regen icon in the bottom left corner. Usually it'll flash, and then it'll say here on your screen, regen required or regen needed, park regen needed. If that's the case, then you have to pull over and do a park regen. I recommend pulling over sooner than later, because you don't know how long, depending on the tractor and how well it was maintained, you don't know how long you have until the engine derates, and you don't want to risk it. I say better safe than sorry. Pull over as soon as possible and run the park regen. So once you're pulled over and in a safe location, you're going to go over, you're going to look at the screen here. There's going to be this is an automatic Volvo, so I have my Jake brake here, but on the main little thing here, you have two buttons on the main right stick out of the wheel. You have the button on the extreme right. It usually has a little arrow on it. You're going to want to hit that, which will make your menu appear on your screen on the tractor. You're going to want to go down to after treatment, and then you're going to want to hit that same button again, that arrow button, that button on the right, and then you're going to see it'll say request park regen. It's pretty easy. And then once you see that screen, you can move it up and down, but you want to leave it on, you want to make sure you're on request parked regen. You go over here to your little stick thing again, the button on the outer, on the right with the little arrow, you hit that button, and then it'll engage the park regen. And as you'll see coming up in a few seconds, the second half of this video, I don't want to run a park regen on this one, because I actually shot two separate videos the other day when I actually needed to do a park regen, which is coming up in about 10 seconds. But that's how to initiate the park regen. And now check out what to look for once the park regen is engaged, and you can see if you actually did it the right way. Alright guys, check out how it looks when a park regen is actually initiated and in progress the right way. A park regen light came on, and which basically means that you have to do a manual regeneration of the engine. When soot builds up, you have to, most tractors these days take DEF, or diesel exhaust fluid, but and a lot of them, especially the newer models, are pretty good with the DEF eating away at all that crud on your exhaust or in your exhaust system. But occasionally and a lot on older model trucks, you'll see a park regen request, and either you have to pull over. If it's a parked regen, you pull over and you run a parked regen, which I showed you in the beginning of this video, which I shot after the fact, and or sometimes the engine will regen itself while you're driving down the road. That's the most ideal scenario, and that's what I like, when the engine just kind of naturally regens. You'll see it say regen in progress as you're driving down the road. It doesn't really affect the driving capability of the rig, but today unfortunately I have to do a parked one, so I wanted to show you guys. So right now, as I showed you in the beginning of the video, how to get to the park regen, and this is how it looks once you have gotten it to engage in a park regen. This is what you will see on your screen. Now, if you notice, it says park regen requested, and up here, I don't know if you can see my hand yet, up here the RPMs are around 11, whereas if you were just idling, now I'm sitting on the side of, I'm in a park and ride, a little rest stop area, but if I was idling, the RPMs would be down around 5, 6. But and a good way to determine if you did park regen the right way would be, obviously, park regen requested would appear, and you would not get an error code. Usually if your regen doesn't take, or you didn't do it the right way, it'll say regen failed. but also, you know, you'll feel the tractor, the RPMs rev up from about 5, 6 to about 10, 11, and then basically from here, it's about I would say a 40-minute to 60-minute ordeal where you just basically wait, you don't touch anything, and you just let it do its thing. It's basically burning off the soot particles. And another couple memos about like a regeneration is, you know, as soon as you see the ReGen light flashing, you know, I recommend pull over and address it, you know, as soon as possible. You know, sometimes you can get many miles down the road before, you know, your engine will derate and your soot level will get critical and your engine will basically shut down on you or make it almost impossible to drive. But it almost feels like it powers down. But, you know, usually whenever I see that light, which is this light right here, let me just make sure you can see it, this light on the corner right there, usually what will happen is that light will come on and it'll flash. And if you have a truck that has like a dashboard rather where, you know, memos and posts and wording and stuff like that, most trucks have them these days, it'll say ReGen needed or park ReGen needed, or if you're driving along and it does just a regular ReGen as you're driving, it'll say ReGen in progress. But if it doesn't say ReGen in progress and the light is just flashing and it says ReGen needed, look, I recommend you pull over to the nearest and safest location and figure out if, you know, you need to do a park ReGen or if it's just gonna pick up manually and just do it by itself. But again, normally if it doesn't, if you're driving down the road and you don't see it say ReGen in progress, you know, if the ReGen light is just flashing, chances are you're gonna have to do a park ReGen, pull over in a safe spot and just get it done as I showed you how to engage it in the beginning of this video. And occasionally I've had it actually on one occasion. Normally the sequence of events for a ReGen will happen where this light right here will come on right there and flash, and it'll say ReGen needed, and you could pretty much drive up the road for quite a few miles usually. And then after that, if you don't address it, another ReGen light will come on right next to it. So there'll be 2 ReGen lights on a lot of models, and a lot of times that other ReGen light will be red. And if it gets to the point where the soot or the crud buildup on your exhaust system is so built up, you know, you'll get to soot level critical, and many times when that happens, you know, it's unfortunately too late. And again, normally it warns you with that first ReGen light well in advance, giving you, you know, enough time to, you know, make arrangements to get into a safe location and to run a park ReGen. But one time actually, I don't know if the truck was probably not functioning correctly, but just the 2 lights came on all at once out of nowhere, and it went critical out of nowhere, and I literally just felt the engine start to power down like out of the blue. So I had no other choice. I had to pull over. I limped over to the side, and I actually, once you get to that point, a lot of times, you know, you're going to need a computer to ReGen the system, at least on a Volvo, and I know on many other units, if you get to soot level critical and you know, your engine derated and, you know, you're pretty much unable to drive up the road, you know, you're not going to be able to engage it in a parked ReGen at that point. At that point, you're probably going to have to call road service or have somebody come out and fix it with reset the computer or something like that. I'm not a mechanic, but from what I was told that day, I could not, once it went critical and my engine derated and it started to power down, I could not put it in a park ReGen. At that point, it was too late. So that's why I say, see that first light come on, no, don't panic. You don't have to panic and pull right over, but as soon as possible, pull over in the safe spot, the first safe spot you get, and address it and run a park ReGen. Wait the 40 minutes, an hour, big deal, and then, you know, go about your business. All right, guys, this is the Twin Tractor Trailer Boss, Chris, coming at you. Don't forget to like that and smash that like button, man, and subscribe to my channel, you know? Come on. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.